I'm going to cover briefly the 4 most common types of crochet yarn that are used in crocheting and their different uses. Firstly, I'll start with cotton thread. Okay, it's a bit thicker than sewing thread and it's used to crochet fine articles like doilies and table runners. And secondly, there's the baby weight yarn, as it is called in the US, or if you're in Australia, New Zealand or the UK, you'd call it 3 or 4 ply wool. Okay, and this yarn is for baby items. You'll generally find that the texture of the baby weight yarn is softer than other yarns for obvious reasons, which are that it's designed for babies. So thirdly, we've got the worsted weight yarn, as it's called in the US. In Australia, New Zealand or the UK, it can be called double knitting weight or 8 ply wool. And I just call it 8 ply. Now, you can use this type of yarn to make afghans, blankets, sweaters, scarves, gloves and any other item that would provide real warmth. This is typically the yarn that a beginner would use most because it's easy to work with and it crochets up fairly quickly. And lastly, there's the chunky yarn or wool. Now, for demonstration purposes, I've got my pretty fancy chunky yarn here, but they also come in the usual form, just like the 8 ply. So without all this fluff and stuff. Okay, and chunky yarn that's used for whipping up quick scarves and sweaters. The chunkier the yarn, the less time it takes to crochet something. So that is a quick overview of the most common yarns and the differences.